Matt Sheridan and Thomas Scott Ferguson present The Frank Duffy Show. I'm your host, Mike Moore. Each week before the Stateliner home games, we'll review the previous week's game and we'll have a breakdown of the upcoming opponent here from the Phillipsburg High School television studio. So, Coach, we split two games since our last program. 24-21 home win over West Orange, 21-0 road loss to undefeated St. Joe's and Metuchen. Let's review West Orange first. I think every once in a while the simplest looking plays work best, and fullback Shane Moore carries 23 times for 148 yards, and he had a 32-yard run right up the middle that set up the second touchdown drive.
Shane had an outstanding effort last Friday night against West Orange. He was getting his feet churning and getting those hard yards, and forward body lean was rolling, and our trap play was really good for us. Our offensive line did an outstanding job. That last drive was really impressive, a 16-play drive there just to cap it off and get him in the end zone. Really proud of Shane and the way he stepped up, and it was good to see him have a good night.
When you're working what seems like the same play, do you think to yourself, we can't be this successful all the time, they got to stop it once?
No, as long as it's working. I think Coach Stem would follow the same philosophy as well. If it's working, keep running the same play. I think that's what he would do a couple of times. I think back in Piscataway, the state championship game, I think he might have done the same thing. So Coach Decker tells me that because he was his fullback, so I know. So I listen, if it's working, you keep going to it, and you go with the hot hand, and Shane was hot, and our offensive line was getting pushed and off the ball and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, and that's what we ask them to do. So you keep doing it until they stop it.
After a punt, you only have a minute 17 to work with, and Shane might have changed the thinking. He went 23 yards in the very first play.
Yeah, he really did, and he was able to like I said, it changed really the feel of the game. I mean, we're down there, and our guys never felt like they were out of it, though. And we knew we had a good chance with the way we were able to run the football. And you know, he just does a good job of getting those positive yardage and getting it into the end zone there. And I just can't say enough about our offensive line and the job that they did.
So West Orange comes back. They're leading 21-17,
Yep.
And you have that 16-play drive. I mean, that is vintage Phillipsburg
It's
football.
vintage Phillipsburg, and I do believe we had one play-action pass in there, so I think it was 15 runs with one pass. But yeah, it's an overall belief of our guys. We were feeding off each other. The guys on the sidelines were into the game, and there was positive energy on the sidelines. And I just felt a feeling of comfort knowing that our guys were in a good spot and how we were able to run the football and you know, push them around a little bit in the fourth quarter. It seemed like we got stronger as the game went on. And I think that's a testament to the way we practice, but also with our strength conditioning program with Craig Merrick, who I've mentioned in the past. So just the way we practice, and I think we practice hard, and you saw that in the fourth quarter as maybe they were getting a little bit more tired, we were getting stronger.
So the defense answers the bell twice to protect that lead. A sack in the first series, and then a Jason Blocknell interception to seal it.
Yeah, Aiden Highwell has been outstanding. You know, he had the sack, and he's been great, and he's been in the backfield numerous times throughout the year, just creating havoc. And Jason Blacknell coming up with a great pick at the end, who I think he's got 3 on the year now. So just coming up in critical moments, you have your playmakers, and those are guys who are playmakers for us. And you know, Jay seals the deal there. You need to come up in a critical stop because we give them the ball back, right? We had an opportunity to run the clock out. We didn't. We have to punt the football. So now we're in a position where, you know, okay, we got to make sure they don't score. And Jay came up big.
Let's take our first break at this opportunity. Need help managing your retirement and investment accounts? Look no further than Vista Financial Services, located right in Alpha, New Jersey. Our advisors have high-level certifications and specialize in retirement and investment account portfolio management. Avoid going with a large firm where you can get served with excessive hidden fees and little personal attention. Go with an investment firm with experienced local financial advisors you can trust. Advisors that are accessible and care about your financial goals. Vista Financial Services, Alpha, New Jersey. Visit www.vistafsl.com to learn more. Vista Financial Services and Matt Sheridan. Okay, the first half at St. Joe's, defensive stalemate. Zip, zip. The defense makes a statement early, stopping the Falcons on 3rd and 4th and short.
Yeah, the first half was gritty football there between two teams that couldn't really get the offense going. Neither team could really get things rolling with their offensive game plan. And defensively, it was a great effort. We had the 3rd down stop. We had the 4th down stop. We actually put in a unique defense for that situation because they were very good and very productive at QB sneaks. So we had 2 QB sneaks there. We were able to bring our guys in a little bit tighter and able to stop them, which is really nice. Really proud of the effort in the first half, and just, we pin them deep with a quick kick there at the end, and it was a field position game in the first half, and that's why we decided to go for the quick kick and not the long field goal, and we were able to hold them off from scoring, and really good first half there.
The best drive of the half, 10 plays. After a Don Bronco scramble for a first down, you're at the 28. But a procedure penalty puts you behind the chains.
Yeah.
So I looked back at the drives of the last 2 weeks, and it's penalties or sacks that seem to be giving you more problems than sometimes the other team's defense is.
They're drive killers. Penalties, sacks, especially a team like us, a program like us who has to stay on schedule, right? 1st and 10, 2nd and medium, 3rd and short. That's our goal. And when you get a sack, it gets you off schedule. When you have a false start or procedural penalty, it's a drive killer for you. So I came into the game saying that we can't have any self-inflicted wounds to win this game. This is a very good team, and they've gotten better with the addition of transfers over the past couple of weeks. They're a much better team than they were in the beginning of the year, and they were good. So they're a good football team, and I knew that we couldn't have any self-inflicted wounds. We couldn't turn the ball over, which we did. We needed to create takeaways, which we didn't. And we can't have any self-inflicting wounds, and we've got to be able to run the football. And unfortunately, we didn't do any of those.
The second half, it seemed to me like they made the plays. First TD drive, they converted a 3rd and 10. Second drive, they converted a 3rd and 11 and a 3rd and 6. And you think we might be getting off the field here. And
yeah, you think so. They have 2 different identities. They have their wing T identity, and then they have their spread set identity. And they were able to get us in those spread sets, and we just have to do a better job of getting off the field on 3rd down, and something we didn't do. But listen, I'll say this: you learn much more from a loss than you do a win. You try to take a lot of lessons from a win, but it's really tough to get through to your guys with a win because you won the game, and the end result is a win. When you lose a game, that's when you can have teachable moments with your players and your coaches as well. I mean, we all have to learn. I mean, I look at the film too as intently as anyone else and say, what can I have done better? And it always falls on me. Anyone who knows me, I've been doing this for 10 years, the loss is always going to fall on me. I'm the head coach. So what can I do better? What can our assistants do better? What can our players do better? And this is a great opportunity for us to take all those lessons midway through the season.
It seemed to me you spent a lot of time with the kids on the field at the end of the game. Can you share a message that you gave them?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, we're okay. All of our goals are in front of us. We have all of our goals. We know what they are. It's no secret at Phillipsburg what our goals are. We're okay. We lost the game, and we have to learn from it, and we have to use it as a positive learning experience, and if anything, help us go in the right direction. You want it to happen now, and not in a situation where it's the postseason. And I told these guys, there's going to be times in November where you lose a game, and then we never come together as a team again because the season's over. So you want to make sure we're taking the lessons we can now to limit the chance that happens to us in November. We know we're going to be playing tough football games, but let's get back to doing what we need to do, and we'll be okay. And every now and then, when you get humbled, that's when you learn your best.
Let's take our second break, and then we'll talk about learn about Union. Thomas Scott Ferguson has been a practicing attorney in Phillipsburg for decades. He's also a volunteer youth track coach and voluntary summertime cross-country coach. After Phillipsburg's 2024 dramatic come-from-behind playoff victory over Northern Highlands with a 46-yard field goal as time expired, Scott texts Lafayette coach John Troxell, telling him that his 1988 ESPN game heroics may have been eclipsed. Scott's son Ryan played football and winter and spring track. and he's a senior at Lehigh University. So Union's 1-6,
Yeah.
but they are coming off their first win. So what do you see on tape about the Union
I see
Farmers?
one of the best 1-6 teams I've seen in quite some time. They haven't been mercy ruled by anybody, which means they haven't lost a game by more than 33 points. They've been in every game, and they played St. Joe's tough, and I know St. Joe's is a different team now with the makeup they have from a roster standpoint, but they still played them hard. They played Rich hard. They played these teams hard. They played a Woodbridge team who's undefeated. They played St. Joe's who's undefeated. They played teams that are good, and they're 1-6, but they just won last week. They have athletes. They just haven't really pieced it together. This can be a dangerous football team, and that's going to be the message to our guys, is that just because they're 1-6, do not think that they're not a capable football team. They are. They are a capable football team. So, I think it's going to be a great challenge for us, and I'm looking forward to responding after Saturday. I know where our guys are as well.
Running back Jameer Hall has a couple of 100-yard games.
Mm-hmm.
The quarterback Elijah Bryant has had 3 games where he's put it up 30 times.
Yeah, and he's got 7 interceptions, I think, there too, because he puts the ball up so much. But that being said, he also has a lot of completions. So the running back's a good player, number 6. He had a great breakout game this past week, over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, very explosive player. So we have to do a good job of tackling in space again, like the challenge that we had at Hillsborough in that first half, and then we responded in West Orange, but we have to continue to do that. It has to be something that we stress this week, is tackling in space and rallying to the ball defensively.
They have a receiver, Josiah Timms, has 34 catches.
Yeah, they have some players. They have athletes. I mean, this is, Union traditionally has some good athletes, and I know they have a new coach. Who in fact is the brother of the West Orange head coach, believe it or not. So, I always have a lot of respect for Union and the product that they have on the field, and I would expect them ready to play. Like I said, they're feeling good about themselves after their first win on Friday.
Can we get a quick sub-varsity update?
Yeah, sub-varsity, we remain undefeated throughout the season. St. Joe's Metuchen was yesterday. Both our JV and our freshman won. JV had a nice tight game. Probably their closest game of the year, but they won against St. Joe's. Freshmen won pretty well with their game. So both teams remain undefeated on the year. We have 3 games left, of course. We have Union. Although I will say our freshman team will not be playing Union. However, we'll be playing Liberty, which is pretty neat. We couldn't get things going situated with our buses, so we are playing Liberty Monday, which is pretty neat for our old traditionalists with the EPC. We have their Union game. We have for JV level, Union, Bridgewater, and then the big one on November 3rd.
Good luck with Union.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Mike.
Just to remind our viewers, the Frank Duffy Show is taped at the Phillipsburg High School television studio before each home game under the direction of PHS Stateliner Media instructor Caitlin Schmidlin and in cooperation with the Phillipsburg Athletic Department and the Phillipsburg Garnet Booster Club Foundation. The foundation raises tens of thousands of dollars annually to support Stateliner athletes. Those funds are deposited at PNC Bank, the official bank of Phillipsburg football, and the Phillipsburg Garnet Booster Club Foundation. I'm Mike Moore. We'll see you next time before the Bridgewater game a week from tonight.